Hello, beautiful sunshines. Welcome to Now That's Love.
With your favorite mother-daughter duo, Ashlyn and
Janae where you get to know thyself, love thyself, and become the best version of self.
Because the greatest love story that you are ever going to tell is the one you create with yourself every day. Hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Today we are going to be talking all about intuition because we've had so many people ask us about, I don't think I have intuition. How do I hear it? How do I tap into this? Is it coming from me? How do I differentiate where my intuition is truly coming from? So we're here to help explain it to you and give you guys some amazing exercises near the end of this video and progress on your amazing spiritual journey that you are on.
Yes.
So, as you may have asked, do I have intuition? Yes, ma'am or sir. Everybody has intuition. You may have had a moment where you felt totally off. You felt like this pain in your chest, this gut feeling. Usually people say, I have this gut feeling. That's the main thing that we hear. And you can just know if someone's being dishonest to you, such as if you've been in a relationship and you're like, I just have this feeling that they're cheating on me. Or maybe you've had a friend that's been in a relationship with somebody that has cheated and you're like, this guy or this girl, it's just, I'm getting bad vibes off of them. I don't really know how I feel about this person. And then come to fruition later on, you find out that, oh my gosh, my gut instinct was right the entire time. And you're like, I should have told them, or I should have believed in my true higher self of what was going on. So you just couldn't shake this feeling. That is your intuition. So the deep voice within you, and also it comes from your ancestors and even just the whole oneness connection with all of us, the higher conscious within all of us, it comes from there, and that is your intuition. So the more you tap into this, the more confident you become in this. Answers are literally all within you at this very moment. It's not outside of you. Sometimes your spirit guides will give you angel numbers. I know a lot of people are very fond of their angel numbers. They see 444 as they're driving and they're like, holy shit, this is meant for me today. And you just constantly keep seeing that. That is part of it, of your guidance, but it's all within you. Like in our previous podcast about letting go and just fully just releasing everything. Those would be some good videos to go back to because that will help you on this journey of dropping those layers. But I had this download come to me a month ago. And I would like to say that you can use intuition as many different words. For us, my mom and I usually say, I have a feeling, we have a download, and that is part of our intuition. Your intuition can also come to you through dreams, like we have mentioned in previous podcasts as well, having healing through our dreams. So I had this download that I was by a freeway and I just couldn't tap into myself. The streets were busy. I was trying to yell, I was trying to shout, and I couldn't even hear my inner voice. And I felt just like distracted around me. I couldn't listen to anything. And then all of a sudden I jump into this magical, like Sabrina the Witch. I jump into a nice nature area of a stream bed and I'm meditating. And I'm sitting there closing my eyes in that peaceful state, listening to the water because I am a water sign and I connect with that, and grounding myself with my Virgo moon. And I can finally hear myself. And it was like that moment of all clarity came to me. And for me, that was part of creating our course. I woke up the next morning and I was like, Mom, I know what we're doing in the beginning of our amazing course. And intuition is going to be one of the things that we talk about throughout the entire course. And you cannot tap in to your intuition being distracted and having the highway behind you and just thoughts rushing through you. People usually are like, I can't tap into my intuition. You can't because you're probably on your phone whenever you're bored or you're constantly running around being busy. You're not taking time to listen. And that is the key of intuition.
Right. That is what we would call the white energy. If we're going to give colors to intuition, it's the having to be quiet. It's the princess and the pea story. So the all knowing that there's a pea underneath your bed, that little sweet princess, you have to become quiet. And I want to teach a technique today, and we'll teach it in just a minute, of an easy tool belt. I've had so many clients and people ask me, how do you tap in so fast? I'm going to show you how to tap into it within like 30 seconds. Okay. So stay tuned. We're going to go into the white light energy, but Ashlyn, what she's talking so beautifully about is we are in a world now of so many distractions. And I have found myself caught up in what to do next. And we just become so unconscious. And then we wonder why we feel so lost and we're desperate for answers, but yet we still aren't hearing anything. And so it is the quietness of being a little princess with a pea under the bed, or the prince that finds the princess with a pea under the bed. Like, but it's always there. The white light intuition. If we're going to just do 3 colors today, white, green, and red, that is your authentic self. You never have your spirit away from you. It's just being still. And one thing I have learned is that when our spirit is talking and coming through and giving us things, it's not going to say, and then I'm going to give you this whole game plan. You are going to do this step, and then on Tuesday it's going to be this, and then it's one step at a time, trusting it, taking the next step, and then having your inner self give you the next thing of action.
And it's just going to keep telling you until you take action. And that's one thing I've realized with my intuition. It'll keep showing up. And sometimes even things will show up in my life that make my life more difficult. Like something might be taken away from me because my intuition's like, hello, or my spirit guides are trying to tell me, hey, like you need to take this next step. And you're just here like, la, 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 la. I'm going to go scroll through Instagram and ignore what my intuition is telling me because I don't really want to do the work. I want to be avoidant.
Or I feel like one of my biggest things and what I've witnessed and what I witnessed within others is it's the fear of being wrong. Like you heard it very clearly, but what if it's wrong? And then I've wasted all this time. And it can come in the craziest way. Like I know a story of a woman that she really was wanting to be intuitively guided to her husband. And she was doing all that she knew. She was wonderful, but her answer was get a dog. And she was like, really, get a dog? So she did. And the next thing that she was told is go to the dog park, take your dog to the dog park. So within the year and a half, guess who met her husband at the dog park? So it's not going to always be like instantly right there. It's just these steps of the all-knowing of exactly how it's going to play out. And I have story after story that I could say. I could write 3 or 4 books about not understanding that this doesn't match up to what I'm being shown. But I took the action anyway. And it led to this, and then it led to that. And reflecting back on it, I'm like, wow, this is so amazing. This is so cool. And it makes it even almost more exciting because it's just this beautiful journey. And you're quite proud that you sat there and took the action steps. It's just, for me, there's a pounding in my heart. There's a pounding, even if something really scares me to do, like a public speaking thing or whatever, there's this all knowing of like, I have to do this. I have to do this. And then it opens up this door, and then I meet this amazing person that leads to this and leads to that, part of my life path of meaning. And I look back and thought, yeah, I was really scared in the beginning of this action step, but it literally led me to this.
Part of your Dharma.
And it's just trusting. So that's the white light, starting to really live your authentic self. And one thing that I would say is a very powerful tool is to name your spirit and get out of your head and say, like for me, when I asked my spirit, I did a breath work. Before I was like coming up with star bright, starlight, rainbow this, rainbow that, all these different things. And in my head, well, I was going to name my spirit. Then I thought, well, why wouldn't I have my spirit name itself? So I was taking these very deep breaths, and I'm going to show you a way to do it really fast. And I said, what would you like your name to be? And instantly it was Creative One. I'm like, Creative One. Yes, I create abundance. I create this. I create love. I create this. And I was like, oh my goodness, and then my heart just expanded and I just smiled and I was like, oh my goodness, I love that you called yourself Creative One, because I don't think I would have I wanted a name, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wanted Dharma Princess, or I wanted something. But now I talk out loud to Creative One. Creative One, what do you think about this? Creative One, I'm starting to ask questions, and I'm telling you, if you're doing it during the day and just before you go to bed, just different things, it becomes your true nature as you're walking around, that now you are not so called your name anymore, associating so much with your thing. You have become whatever you decide that is. I'll show you a way to tap into your intuition to do that, but we'll get there in a minute.
Oh, I was just going to say, it's all within your body as well. Like, you can feel everything going throughout your body.
The head. Right.
That's why I mentioned in the beginning, like that gut feeling, or sometimes I even like kind of get headaches if I don't listen to it. The chest pain, you'll get certain pains, and like we'll talk about in future podcasts with this energy centers and like your chakras,
7
you can
centers.
Feel it in certain zones. Yeah. So even in your throat, like I remember not listening to my intuition and not using my voice. And a lot of us are scared of judgment within our voice. If we do speak out and you're like, oh my gosh, like you said, what if this is wrong? The fear of being wrong. And you speak out what you're truly feeling in your intuition, sometimes your throat can get clogged up. And I've had that happen where I'm like, I can't even talk the next morning because I'm not using my voice.
Well, and that is the number one blocker. So your heart space is your deepest root to your intuition, and your third eye to your heart. But if you have fear, the biggest constrictor, now this area right here, your throat chakra, has blocked and shut the door. And that is key, exactly what Ashlyn said, is like from the heart to your intuition, your pineal gland, your vagus nerve. Your vagus nerve shoots all the way down into your gut for the gut wisdom and your intuition. And so you've blocked it off with fear. And that happens so often for us.
Yeah, and I'd like to mention as well, too, that after you get intuition of like that feeling, that gut feeling, the download, the angel guides leading you your way, you soon after usually pretty quickly have your ego pop in. And we've talked about the ego in previous videos of letting go of that. But the ego will pop in and downplay your intuition, putting, like I said, the fear, the self-doubt, that low confidence. And that's why it's so important to make sure you're practicing and exercising and using the tools that we're giving you. And also we're providing more tools in the course that's going to be coming out later this year for developing your intuition and trusting your intuition and knowing, hey, I know that what is speaking to me is 100% true. And it's not my ego saying, oh, this is the best for this situation. It's not one of those things. It's coming from truly that place. And the more you exercise it, like with anything, it's like a muscle. And once you start developing it and planting that seed, it goes and it will start to grow. And you'll be like, oh my gosh, I see that plant growing now. Oh, well, this intuition came to me now. I see that plant growing. And you'll be able to trust it further. That's why I told my mom, like, we have to have this a part of our course, because a lot of your journey belongs to trusting yourself. It's all within you. You are the person that's guiding this. You're the person plowing this road. We can give you as many tools and exercises as you want, but wouldn't it be so amazing to be able to just have the videos and the tools and exercises there for you, and you're the one implementing them, and gaining that full trust in yourself and not losing your voice chakra, or even just not fulfilling what your heart chakra is telling you to do.
Yeah. Trust in your instincts. And that would be the red light. That is what everybody on this earth has experienced, is the red light intuition. And that's where your hair stands up on your arms. You just know the
Goosebumps.
frequency. Yeah, the vibes, the vibes are telling you there's danger. It's your survival instinct. And it could be that there's danger for your children. Like the story of my mom, where she was cooking dinner and ran outside during just barely the rainstorm was happening, and screamed. And she wasn't a screamer. She screamed for my twin brother and I to run. We were on this asphalt road, just about 50 feet away from her, screamed for us to get inside now. And she said, now. And she screamed it. And because she wasn't normally like that, we ran. And literally, her intuition saved our lives, because as we were running in towards her, lightning hit right where we had been standing. It was such a strong pulse of energy from the lightning that it kind of almost like pushed, and our hair just stood up. And we were right next, like up to our mom, that close. If we wouldn't have ran, and she wouldn't have had her intuition. So we all can think of something. I mean, think about the whole red flag series.
Even just walking into a room, you can feel the energy off in rooms sometimes. You're like, I don't belong here.
Right. You have this thing of just like, maybe I shouldn't go down this store aisle. Or there was a time that I was driving up to a store. It was late at night, and I had just a really overwhelming feeling to not walk inside at that time. And I stayed in my car, and all of a sudden a squad, like 5 car police came pulling into the front entryway. 3 guys were running out. One guy had gotten out of a car that was near mine. I would have literally been right there. I would have been walking right where that person that was running from his car that was the police were chasing. And it's just this all knowing. It's a survival energy. So we're all frequency, and the frequency of the energy that's around us, we can feel it, and it will protect us. A lot of times with the red light intuition, we have a lot of times just 1 second to act, but how many times have we suffered by not listening to the red light intuition? Like, think of relationships. Think of, I should have not gone down this road. If I would have only, is the story, right? If I just would have. So it's very...
Even just sending a text message sometimes and checking up on people. Sometimes I've had that circumstance, and I've been there. I have doubted myself on intuition. And sometimes my intuition will tell me, message this person real quick, check up on them. And I'm just like, no, it's okay. You're just making this up in your head. It's silly. Nothing's going on. I know they're really happy. And then come to find out, they come to me and they're like, by the way, I was going through a really hard situation 2 months ago. And I'm just like, why did I not listen to my intuition? Yeah, I should have been checking up on them. And it's not so much a people-pleasing or codependent situation, but it's like we're there for each other. And listening to your intuition will help make us connected to each other. And being so present in the moment and being aware, just focus on how the thoughts make you feel, and be present with them, and how they enter into your field. These thoughts of your intuition will help you differentiate if they're good and bad. If they're coming to you from like a very ego state, or even a superior state of like, I know what's best for them, that's probably not your intuition. But how you can differentiate it is if it's coming from, like I said, the ego, or truly like that conscious state of, this just showed up to me. I don't know where the hell this is coming from usually. That is it.
Yeah, the all-knowing. And when Ashlyn was saying a little bit about staying in the red light, as far as for me, where I learned it was back really strongly. She was saying that she gets headaches. If I was not listening, boom, yeah, there's a migraine. I lay down, and then I'll get a message, and then guess you didn't have a migraine. Mm-hmm. And then for me in 2015, I had a situation where early in the morning, I was told to contact somebody. And I was told literally a certain thing to send, and I just sent it. I had it. But it was so strong, and I thought, I can't believe I'm doing this in the night, everything. But it was so strong, I thought my heart was going to explode. I felt like I was almost like, and I acted on that and immediately got a text back, and I was like, wow. And then that person called me, can I call you? And she literally was just about to commit suicide. So it's, she sent a picture of the pills in her hands, like down on her knees saying, show me a sign. So
Wow.
I'm not saying everything needs to be that extreme, but I learned as a young girl, and I learned like finding things. I just know it's going to find things. It might not be immediately, but I see things in my head. So I just will ask where something is, and I'll see like it's in a drawer. I'll ask like this one little piece of paper that I really need for this document, and where the heavens is it? And I would just close my eyes and say, thank you for showing me. And I would see it underneath the pile of this, that type thing. And then there it is. And it's just, the more you actually just walk within your authentic self. Let's move on into the green light, and that's your creative self. And so this is one of the tools for you to get answers quickly. And so the green light is, I want to know what my action step is for today. Even on a relationship level, you can even use this on like, hey, creative one is my little thing. Hey, creative one, what should we eat tonight? What was my body needing? You can use like questions all the time and not have to have all of these outer things, telling you. So in this moment, I'm going to have everybody do an action of the breath work. This is so beyond simple. I want you to pick an object in wherever you're sitting, if you're at work or if you're in your house, wherever you're at, pick an object in your area, and I want you to look at it. Keep your eyes open, and you're going to breathe in slowly. Keep your shoulders down. Put your tongue at the roof of your mouth. And then when you breathe out, I want you to be blowing out candles and have it make a sound. So we're blowing out candles. Now you're going to pick another object that is around you. Look at it, and you're going to breathe in a long, slow breath. And then you're going to blow out candles. Have it make a sound. I want to ignite this. This next time you're going to breathe in. And instead of blowing out candles, you're going to go, go down the side, releasing. Now, how do you feel? Relaxed. Now, this is where you can start to ask questions. What does my spirit love? What action do I take today to have it be the most divine meaning? Whatever you want to ask. Am I at the best job for me? Should I stay at this job? So I want to do it one more time. We are going to go in, and we're going to do the breath. You get this second opportunity. We're going to do 3 objects. Let's breathe in slowly. Tongue at the roof of the mouth. Your shoulders, make sure they're relaxed and down. And then let's blow out candles. Now you're going to get your second object. Let's breathe in slowly. Keep those shoulders down and blow out candles out loud. Get your third object. Breathe in slowly. And you're going to do the really loud. So what you're doing in the first 2 breaths is you're releasing. By looking at the objects, you're getting out of your head. And then when you're going Now you are in a place of peace. Intuition is not supposed to be difficult. It's not difficult. We all have it. And
That's
they
why it's
are
so
easy action
important
tools.
to step
Mm-hmm.
away from the highway. It's so important to stay away from the distractions and the loud noises. And I mean, yeah, sometimes that's part of our day, but even just giving yourself like that 10, 15 minutes. My mom provides amazing freaking meditations, guided meditations, and breath works on our YouTube. Those will help you just regulate. And I feel like whenever I was beginning, I was like, I don't know how to meditate. So having these guided meditations set up for you and really helping you just feel into your body, get into your body and breathe, and that will help you develop into a deeper intuition for yourself of just listening. That's like the key. It's just
Yeah.
listening and letting go of just like the judgment and self-doubt whenever like the ego comes in. But whenever you are able to set up that intention, the first step is setting up that intention. And that's why I love that breath work that you just gave, because you're setting up that intention of, okay, I'm breathing, I'm releasing, I am getting into the present moment, and then asking yourself afterwards, whenever you're near your mental stream bed or your mental ocean, wherever you find peace in your environment, you're stepping into that zone and you're able to ask yourself those questions and setting the intention for the day. That's why I love doing that, especially in the morning. Like the morning journals that me and you have on our Amazon are so helpful in developing that, because not only can you meditate and really reflect, sometimes journaling it down whenever you get these divine messages can help lead you. You can look back and be like, oh my gosh, this added up to this, or even just journaling it down and remembering that message for later on in your life, or even just later on in that day of, oh my goodness, that made so much more sense of what's going on.
Right. Well,
And
that's your
whenever you're
download of the course.
meditating, yes, exactly. Our second thing is like meditating. That's the second step of really developing your intuition, is where do you feel connected? And I think that's so important whenever it comes to listening, because if everyone's different, we all feel connected to the universe in different ways. And finding your connection, whether it's going outside and doing that, whether it's journaling, whether it's having just alone time in your book room, whatever it is. Sometimes I get downloads even from reading books, where I'll ask the universe, um, or ask my intuition, what message am I supposed to receive today? And you can flip open a part of like maybe a book that you really love, very positive book, and we can maybe put some ones that we reference below. But those, you can open it up, and we've received so many beautiful messages of, oh my gosh, this was divinely for me. And even whenever me and you have done certain card readings, psychic readings for ourselves, because we'll guide you through that if you guys hop on our course. I'm going to give a couple psychic readings that you can do for yourself. And I think that whenever you're able to fully trust in your intuition, that is when you gain full true power of your truth, your inner truth, your all knowing. It's so powerful, because everyone around you, you're just like, I've caught people in certain circumstances, and it's not even for me to like call them out or feel superior against them, but I can feel the dishonesty. And someone can say something to me, and I'm like, that's not true. That's not right. And maybe that's just them trying to portray something to me. It doesn't mean that they're a bad person, but I can catch them and what's going on in that moment. And even just safety for my own kids, for myself. Like one morning I woke up and I had something shouting at me. And I woke up and I was like, Jerome, just be super cautious on the road today. Just be super careful. Whatever you're doing, observe your situations. And I'm not like a crazy fanatic of watching your every move, watching your every step. But that day it told me to tell him to do that. And I really believe also in divine feminine intuition. Men have beautiful intuition as well. I'm not downing that. But women, we innately are leaders and powerful. We used to help lead tribes and also tell our men where to hunt. Like, go over here. We could detect certain things in the weather within animals. We can be intuitive with animals. There's so many different things that we can connect with. And I found nothing ended up happening that day with Jerome, but I was just like, no, I'm going to speak this out. I'm going to use my voice. And whether something happens or not, at least I was there to say, hey, just have your guard up a little bit today. Be a little cautious. Who would have known what would have happened if I didn't say that? You'll never know, but it's
No,
good
but
to at least use your voice.
right. That's the overview of the red light perfectly, Ashlyn. Red light, have your words, start using your words. Use your words and say, stop, I don't feel right. Like literally start using your words and don't second guess on the red light. It's just stop, I get out of a car. Like say you were thinking you're going to get into a car with friends and like, oh, come on, nothing bad's going to happen. No, if you feel something, stop. I'm not getting in this car. You guys do what you want to do, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going. Don't be afraid of the almighty power within you that is literally either saving your life or protecting you. And
Mm-hmm.
then green light, I just doing this little overview. Green light, so red light comes into your gut. It's a gut wisdom. Green light, heart chakra. Think of the heart area. It's just this. You can have your heart start to beat a little bit faster in a good way. It's wanting to speak out different things, but your creative side and tapping into that breath work will help you with all of these. Um, and then the white light. You know, what if it was that we walked up to each other and said, hey, how's your spirit doing today? Or we were asking
Love
each
it.
other questions and we'd say, well, what does your spirit think about that? What if we walked around as a society and we're not so much in our heads and we
Mm-hmm.
were in our bodies and in our frequency and our energy and we just asked like we talked that way, like, hey, Ashlyn, or like we knew each other's soul names, like, hey, creative one, how you doing today, or how's creative one doing today, and
How's Sunflower
Ash,
Child?
yeah, Ashlyn's sunflower child. So how's sunflower child doing today? Doesn't that just take the heaviness off of things, and you're talking to each other's souls, your
Mm-hmm.
authenticness, and if Ashlyn had a question, well, what does sunflower child feel about that? How
Mm-hmm.
does that feel? Just like right now, you can go back and do on this, save this episode, do the breath work, 3 objects, okay? 3 objects. Do the breath work. You're blowing out candles the first 2. You're blowing out the energy of stress or the overthinking mind. You're just blowing out all that. And then on the last one, you're like, you're sliding into yourself, your authentic self. That's a slide of the And just to get out of your mind, you look at the 3 objects with each breath, 1 object for each breath as an overview, and then ask a question. Just ask any question. You already know it. You're all knowing. You
Mm-hmm.
know this. So this is one of the fastest tools that have helped me and has helped Ashlyn to just completely get out of the overthinking mind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to add a little fun tool here because I have to. It's just coming to me. But if we're going to name our spirit, why don't we name our mind? And we can be like a barking chihuahua. It's a name your dog. It's the barking of the mind. And so name it. Mine's Fifi. So I'm like, oh my gosh, Fifi, what's up? Like, hey, what's up? Have it be light. Have it be, Fifi can describe your Fifi. Does she have sassiness? Does she have anger? Does like name your
Yeah.
little thing and then recognize Fifi is like taking over. And then, hey, creative one, what's up? So feel the energy of that? We're not taking we literally name your dog. Otherwise, you're letting the dog take control of your bus. You're on this bus, your little chihuahua's up there driving the bus into the worst neighborhood, and you feel like you're out of control. And instead, you get in the driver's seat with for me, it's creative one. And where are we going today? What are we going to do?
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's
take
like,
control of your life.
yeah.
100%.
And if you are actioning this every single day, guess what? It just becomes your authentic self. And for me, this was such a game changer of helping me each day to start really, truly getting out of my mind. Like we talked about in previous podcasts, I kind of went through a little bit of a dark night of the soul about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And I implemented this very strongly. And the little chihuahua, mine is a yapping little chihuahua. I'm like, wow, you're out of control, Fifi. And made it light. I had a smile to it. And one of the things you can experience is go stand in front of the mirror for your higher self and give your little beautiful name. It can be all empowering. Get in front of the mirror and say, what do you love? Ask your higher self, what do you love? Hey, creative one, what do you love? And just witness how you completely shift. Mm-hmm. I really love being with my family. I love the connection with friends. I have your higher self just start answering different things and just see, you can literally witness the shift, like your smile, your eyes brighten, you're connected in that moment. There are just so many tools that Ashlyn are going to be showing you on our course. They're just quick tapping
Well, you
tools.
get to really learn about yourself. I love all that you mentioned, because it's like getting to know yourself is getting to love yourself, and that's what we're all about.
You're living authentically now.
Love.
So when we do the little hashtag authentic self, I think it's taking this to a whole different level for me personally. I am so grateful for this episode, because as I'm walking through it again, I'm literally living and breathing it, and I just want to even do more, like just adding the tools into just amazingness that, I mean, the whole concept of us walking up to each other and saying, hey, sunshine, or hey, sunflower child. As we're even creating the course, Ashlyn has had so many spiritual downloads, and I have, and we know that our authentic self, our higher self, is creating this for everyone to serve this world. That's our deepest desire, to have a meaningful life, to help others. And so I think that everybody wants to feel like they have a meaningful life, correct? When you're stepping into your authentic self, you think, am I at a job that I feel like I have a meaningful life? Am I doing things in the world that make me feel like I am living a meaningful life?
It's that overall fulfilling your purpose. It's just it's kind of like in every movie we see everybody, just whether it's big or small, fulfilling their purpose.
Right.
Whether their purpose is to be a person that ends up curing cancer, or even just from the smaller things of just being an amazing freaking garbage man that brightens everyone's day and goes around and all the kids love him. Like your purpose doesn't have to be like, in the world's definition, this magnificent thing. No. Your dharma might just be whenever you lay to rest and you pass away and your body is down in the ground, everyone's saying, oh my gosh, he or she impacted my life so much. Without them, I wouldn't have been able to do this. Without this, I wouldn't have been able to create this. This person brought light into the world. And I feel like my dharma in life, in so many ways, it's just bringing light into this world. And that's just so important. That's why our course is actually called The Light Within, and just really filling into your body and getting that. And I really am just so excited to finally put this course out. We're in the development, obviously, of it right now, but make sure you follow us for updates, subscribe, and that way you guys can stay updated on our course and also future videos. I'm really excited to put this course out there, because you can see, because
we're super excited. It's so much.
And if this video resonated with you, that is like a step forward into being able to hop on our course and develop your skills and have tools and videos and different resources to help you get to know your light within. So follow us at Now That's Love for updates on that. And We can't wait to have you guys on our next video.
Yes.
We are just seeing everything expand and grow as we have created this YouTube. We're on episode 31 now. And I just, even just looking back from a year to now, wow. Like, I'm so glad we followed our intuition.
Right. We knew that we had to start acting, or we would regret it. That was our biggest thing. This YouTube, our Now That's Love, everything that we have created, even on Etsy, everything we step into, I let Creative One create it. Like Creative One steps in, and then a lot of times I'll step back in awe.
But we'll have our links below for our Instagram, our Etsy, our Amazon shop, and we'll catch you guys on the next video.
Yes, we will. Bye.
Bye.
Much love
Love
from our house
y'all.
to yours.